Hi everybody and welcome to another video. Today's video will be me in the simulator getting some distances for some of my clubs. We're going to start off with the 56-degree wedge, and what I did throughout was hit 3 shots with each club. Now 3 shots is definitely nowhere near enough to say, oh yeah, well that's about the distance I hit my club, but it does give me a rough indication, and when I've got longer I'll spend doing, like a wedges or longer irons, etc. But I just wanted to get an initial feel for how far I will hit my clubs. I've been reading this book recently. I might have mentioned it a couple of times thanks to Gary, and the book actually says that to be really good at golf or to improve, you have to be good from 120 yards in. So I thought, well, I don't even know what club really I need to use from 120, so here's a way for me to get a rough idea. And also I thought at the same time I'll get other distances as well. The book itself is called Golf is a Game. Golf is not a game of perfect. I'm about halfway through it at the moment, and I have to admit it's been really good read so far. Some things that you think, oh, that's really obvious, I just wasn't doing. So I'm hoping that it's going to change my game. Gary said that his moved by about 4 shots, so we'll see. Anyway, I've just done my 56 degree there, and what I'll do is I'll put the actual distances up in a second at the end of, so I think I'll do my 56, my 52 and my pitching wedge, and then I put the distances and the numbers up. I was probably less worried about where they were going, as long as I didn't say completely snap hook one or completely slice one. They were all pretty. So that's like quite a good example. That's probably my average of what I was shooting away from the middle of the line, I would say. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see at the end. So yeah, working my way down the clubs. A 52 degree in my head went between probably 115 to 120 yards. Now I had already played golf this morning, the morning that this video was made. I'd had 18 holes with Wayne up at Hampworth. That'll be on Wayne's channel, so Wayne Dewey Golf Vlogs. It's a shameless plug there, but go and check him out. It was a really good match. I'm not going to say who won, but it was a very enjoyable day considering the weather has been atrocious recently. So I was probably feeling a little bit, I was probably feeling a little bit fatigued, I would say, because I've already played 18 holes and now I'm spending an hour hitting more clubs, and you'll hit more shots in a simulator than you probably will in 18 holes. Probably in an hour. So we're on to the last one of this sort of short game, so my pitching wedge now. I have to admit I was quite surprised at how far my pitching wedge was going. Now I must explain a little bit about my clubs. So my club's tailor-made RSIs, so the loft will be slightly stronger, which will mean that I will hit probably a longer shot. It doesn't mean to say, oh look at me, look how long I can hit my club. I'm just the lofts are that it will go a bit further. I mean, me and Wayne the other day in the simulator, we were hitting my club and he was actually hitting my 9-iron further than me. I mean, he was warmed up. I wasn't, but it's not an excuse. Anyway, so just in case, I'm not trying to boast about how big my pitching wedge is, but it is the club. I would happily admit that. So we're coming to the last shot now of the wedges, and as you can see, the dispersion is pretty crazy. Something that I will need to be worked on. So I believe, there we go. So if we have a look at the distances, so the 56 degree was pretty much as expected, so 100 yards or 90 to 100 yards. So the average 101 carry, 95 carry, 101 total. 52, 101, 108. That's a bit shorter than I would have liked. And the pitching wedge average of 127 to 136, I think it said there, which is quite, I don't know, it's a bit of a weird distance there. Quite a bit further than I thought it would go. Okay, so we're on to the second three. So the second three that what we're going to do now is the 9, 8 and 7 irons. So just hit the first shot there. So my 9 iron normally, once again in my head, goes about 150 yards, so that was pretty spot on. 140 for 150. You know, would it run out that extra 10 yards or would it just stop on the green? Don't know. But it will be, as I say, good to get the, you know, an average. And I understand that 3 is not a lot of shots, and I will come back and do a slightly longer test at some point. So yeah, it's been an interesting couple of weeks for golf. I have tried to get out there and practice as much as possible. I was really disappointed last weekend. I still managed to get a rounds, which was amazing, but at the same time the competition was cancelled, and I was actually quite looking forward to that competition. You know, weather conditions might not have been great for it again, but you know what they're doing at the moment is they're putting a competition at the start and end of every month. So you know, they're 2 weekends in a row, which is, I don't know how I feel about that. I'd rather probably have them spread out a bit more. But at the moment where we are at Crane Valley, there will be more competitions. There is more competitions, but say for example, you know, I think there's a 4-ball competition middle of the week, and I think this month maybe not. No, I don't think it's this month. This month, the next competition is on the 27th, I believe. I'm not sure. But then in March, you've got one at the start of the month, so the Stableford, first weekend of the month, and then you've got one in the middle, which I believe is an honours board. I'm not sure. And the honours board competitions, in my opinion, are the ones to win. But there's, you know, nothing wrong with wanting to win a Saturday medal or a Saturday Stableford, in my opinion. And everyone knows, you know, the goal is to get my handicap down. So I can't control what other players do. I can only control, you know, the round that I have. So, you know, I'm hoping that, and I'm confident that my handicap is going to start rolling down. And not the greatest of starts, though, did I? Plus 0.1. Although it wasn't a disgrace, as a lot of you said, it wasn't, you know, terrible. Okay, so I think those are the next 3 done. So my 9, 8 and 7. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe I got the 7s to come. So I think I was quite surprised with how I was hitting my 7 iron. So 7 iron's not a club that I would usually hit, and I said that for my other video when I was in the simulator getting fitted for my Cobra. I do not hit my 7 iron, but I was surprised at how I was striking these, whether or not I was fully warmed up. But they were going further than I thought. I mean, what's that? That's rolled out to 182, 163 carry. So I was pretty happy with the strike on these 3. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, so once again, that's, you know, pretty much central. You know, 190, 172 carry. I'm quite pleased with that. You know, I don't normally, as I say, take the 7 iron out of the bag. I'd rather basically a knockdown 6 or take an 8, try and hit an 8. So I hardly ever hit 7. Let's see what that one is. Yeah, so that's the same again. That's a bit further away, maybe. But 176 for 194. So we'll have a look at the 3 clubs again. So the 9 iron, and if you look at the right hand side of the screen where it says carry and total difference, the grey boxes I'm talking about, it's the average 127, 135 for pitching weights on that. 143, 153, 9 iron, 147, 167, 8 iron, and 178, 188, 7 iron. So that, you know, the 7 iron is quite surprising. But I'm quite happy with those distances. Once again, I will need to get back into the simulator and do a more of a thorough test, I would say. So, a couple more clubs to go. I do actually play a hole in a minute as well, so if you stick around for these 3 shots, I do play a little par 3, and I hit my hybrids. Now I have to admit, I've this morning when I played at Hantworth, I actually took my hybrid off the tee that's my safe club. It always used to be my 6 iron, but I found with my 6 iron that I was still shorter than I would like to be. You know, I'd rather have a shorter distance in, and I feel like sometimes I can hit my 6 iron, off the top of the face. It is consistent, but it's not mega consistent. Weirdly, with these clubs, the next 3 or the next 2, I think it is, I was slicing my longer irons, which I don't really do. I don't know whether I might have been getting tired at this point. It's a good excuse, definitely. But I seem to sort of, they're all going right. I mean, not terrible. And they're all, group-wise, they're all pretty similar, aren't they? Yeah, it's not bad for my 6 iron. And then I think I only hit 2 5s. I think I only captured 2 5s. I didn't even try hitting my 4 because I knew what was going to happen. That was not going to be pretty. I don't really use my 4 at the moment. As I say, with the hybrid, I'm quite happy with how I'm hitting that. I've never played with a hybrid before. I had a 5 wood, the TaylorMade 5 wood, and the TaylorMade burner 3 wood, aero burner. That's it. And I didn't really use them much. I used them in a couple of recent vlogs of Wayne's, but because I didn't have my driver. Yeah, see, look, I pushed that 5 right out there again. And it's not that much further than my 6, to be honest with you. Look at that. 184 for 201. Yeah, so I think this is the last one. And I think I snapped it. I think I put them on the screen. So the last 2, the 6 and the 5 iron. So, oh yeah, I did hit some more in the end, but I don't think I got them on camera. So average of the 6 iron, 174 for 193 and 184 for 209. I mean, that's a massive difference for dispersion there. Okay, so big stick, here we go. I don't think I got many, because if you have a look at the top left hand corner of where we are in the studio, the driver actually can hit the top bit. So I was not, well, on the follow through, I just wasn't happy with, I didn't want to scrape the club basically. I've just bought it. I don't want to dent it, or I don't want it to snap the shaft off. So I don't think that was a terrible shot anyway, to be fair. But I think for me, if I'm hitting 250 carry, anything over 250 I'll be happy with. It'll roll out. I tend to, and you'll see with the figures in a minute, I tend to get quite low spin unless I completely balls one up, which does happen. I do get quite a low spin on my driver. I mean, that's the shape of the shot that I'm looking for. That sort of, not that low, but that cut. I mean, I started it a bit left, but I'm happy with that shape. 251 for 281. Once again, who knows what the actual, that would have done in real life, but I'm quite happy with that. And I think I'm holding off. As you can see, I'm just checking whether it's going to hit the top of the roof. Yeah, so I was quite happy with that. And actually, during the match with Wayne earlier, I was really happy with how I was hitting it. Yeah, it's a really good club, really good club. And I'm obviously going to say that because I just bought it, but I was very happy with it. Something that I have been doing with my driver, that was a bit higher. Something that I have been doing with my driver is I noticed that I was holding the club a little bit further away from my body than perhaps I would have done on my other clubs. It just looked a bit weird. It was almost a bit Bryson DeChambeau, and as much as I think he's a great player, I didn't want to have a swing that looked like his. I'd like to hit it like he does, but it just looked a bit strange. So I've tried holding the club a little bit closer to my body, and it seems to be working so far, but I'm not holding my breath, so we'll see. Okay, so we got some hybrid here, some of the hybrid shots, and I thought I'd hit it into a par 3. I was getting bored of hitting the range, to be honest with you. If anyone's made it this far, congratulations. Wasn't playing it off a tee, so this is like a 203 yard par 3, 204 yard par 3, and I wanted to play a little cut. I hit a cut on the last hole of when I was playing Wayne, and it was really easy to hit. And I thought I'll just try it again, and not a bad result. I mean, it's run on a bit, but you know, from 200 and whatever yards, yeah, I went 210. I'm happy with that. But mainly happy with the shot as well. I really do not mind that little cut. I think I'll try it again here. I quite enjoy being in the simulator actually. It's quite it was quite nice. It was very quiet. You know, it was the end of the day at Bulbury. Oh, that's a good one, isn't it? If only I could do that in real life. No, I can. I will. Yeah, so that was a decent one. But yeah, the simulator, you know, was really quiet. So it was quite nice just to sort of chill out and have a bit of a hitting session, really. Gosh, another good one. That's 3 in a row now. Let's see where this one goes. Oh, I knew where it went. That was close. Does it count if I get a hole in one in the simulator? Don't think so. It would be nice though, wouldn't it? Any hole in one. So I'll be honest with you, I'm at this point quite tired. It probably starts to show. I don't think it's as close. Not too bad though, is it? I mean, there, you know, I've just hit 4 off the cuff there, onto the green, or just over. Pretty decent shots, pretty similar shots. Strangely, actually, on the course, I did not play that shot at the start of the day, but by the end I was. So, I don't know what that says. That's the sort of shot I play on the course. One of those bad boys. Easy. I get up and down from there though. Anyway guys, thanks very much for tuning in today. I hope you've made it this far. Thank you very much if you have. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you like the content, and I will be back soon with some more on-course videos and hopefully with some good news of a handicap reduction. But we will, well, just wait and see really. That's another decent one to finish with. Guys, thank you so much, and I'll speak to you all soon. Cheers.